Welcome back to Switched to Linux. Well, today we're going to do a brief distro review. We are going to have a look at one that a few people have asked me to look at, and this is called Titan Linux. Not Titan OS, which is related to some AI in either games or flight simulators or something else. It wasn't Linux related, so there shouldn't hopefully be any confusion. But this is called Titan Linux, which is by Matthew Moore and Cobalt Rogue. And they have a GitHub and a GitLab page. And the biggest problem we start with this distro is there's really no information. This is quoting from their website every bit of information that we have about it from the public world. Now, maybe there's some internal things that we could hear about, but the reality is if you really want your distro to take off, we need to have a few details. Here's all it says. Titan Linux is a new distro built on the Debian stable branch. It's a fully functional yet minimal KDE Plasma desktop experience focusing on usability and performance with a wide range of hardware support out of the box. This distro is designed with the user in mind, eliminating dependency on certain meta packages, making it more stable system overall. Titan Linux is truly a unique approach to the Debian experience. That is what they say. Under their features, Debian stable base, a minimal KDE desktop experience, stable 5.10 LTS kernel, a wide range of hardware supported out of the box. That is all the information we have about it. So some people asked me to have a look at it, and I went ahead and downloaded it and installed this onto a virtual machine and had a look at it, and I didn't find it to be a truly unique Debian experience. I found it to be Debian themed with a good Plasma theme and a few extra tools. I didn't find it to be much more than that. Is it horrible? Absolutely not, because it's Debian with better system themes. So you don't have to go through the hassle of installing Plasma and figuring it out. The theming that they have selected for it is very nice overall. Really, the only standout thing that it has is a series of tools, which, in my opinion, the developers should focus on those tools, packaging those as to be installed alongside Debian so that you can actually do some good configuration to Debian, because those tools are really good. But the distro itself, it's just Debian. It does say again that there are some packages that are not there. What does it say? It says a wide range. Let's see. Distro is designed with user in mind, eliminating dependency on certain meta packages, making it a more stable system overall. I like to know exactly which packages they're talking about. There are 3, I think, reviews on it as the time I looked at it on SourceForge download page, and 2 of them give it, pretty cool go-tos. One of them's like, yeah, it's just Debian, but it doesn't work as well. So it begs those questions once again. Do we have too many Linux distributions out there? But I don't know. You decide. Let's go ahead and have a look at the desktop, and then we'll come back and wrap up. So here we are on the Titan Linux desktop. We get this nice wallpaper here. And what we're looking at here is basically just Debian with Plasma, with a few modifications to where things are. We have a power button over there. We have a basic panel. We have our standard menus. And that's really, there's really nothing in here that is way out of the ordinary. We don't have a lot of bloatware. That's good. There's not excessive amounts of packages built in anywhere. And really the only distinction I can see about Titan Linux and Debian is we have a suite of tools called the Titan Toolbox. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Before we do there, let's go ahead and boot up our terminal. So we have a nice fetch here. And we can see that we're running just the Linux kernel 5.10, so nothing out of the ordinary there. We're running bash. The resolution was set after I installed VirtualBox guest editions. I had to install guest editions on this to make it work right in VirtualBox. We can see we're running Plasma 520, KWin, and they're using their own theming system, the Dragon theme here, and you can see the information that we have allocated to the machine itself. I'm recording this on my laptop because my main desktop is in the process of doing something else. Let's go ahead and, well, of course, you can already see the kernel. I'm not going to do the uname. Let me just go ahead and show you from this. We're in sources list. See that we are in Bullseye. We don't have any extra repositories set up already. So that's basically what we're dealing with. What's really the difference between this and any other Debian? A little bit of theming. So is this just an extra Linux distribution that probably doesn't need to be? Now, the one thing, as I mentioned, that was different is the Titan Toolbox. In this, we have a lot of cool Debian tools. This is actually the thing, maybe what I would do if I were these developers is work on cleaning up this application suite and give this out to people as something to install on Debian to manage some more difficult to do tasks in Debian, rather than coming up with another Debian spin that just happens to have one extra small package of software suites, which is good for Debian management. So we have Application Terminator. We have a clear swap to reset your swap file or partition. We have displaying hardware information, restart network services, and restart Plasma services. We have some advanced tools. And again, some of these advanced tools, these actually make it worthwhile for the software suite. The software suite makes a lot of sense, and it's something that there's probably a little bit better market to have the software suite available rather than creating yet another Debian Linux build. So here we can update Grub. These are things that people would ordinarily have to do simply in the terminal. We have install the latest available backported kernel, install backported kernel headers, install legacy libapp indicator, and uninstall unused kernels. So of course the unused kernels can take up a lot of memory in your system, and with that, getting rid of those can actually help improve the system after a period of time. I know running Linux Mint on USB flash drives, for example, the unused headers will take up enough room that you have to clear them out, or you're going to have a system that's unbootable after a while. Apt Tools, we have repair apt and depackage, clean the apt cache, and dump package manifest. So that's actually pretty cool. So if you have some issues there. Extra repositories, these are the things you usually on Debian have to manually set up by editing that sources.list, but this will enable non-free contributor and backport repositories. You can enable 32-bit architecture repository, good if you're going to be doing gaming, either Steam or with Wine. You can install snap support and install Flatpak support. These are all good tools to have. I like the package suite itself is a good add-on for Debian rather than, again, an extra Debian repository. We have extra software, a collection of harder to install software is what they say. Again, we have to enter our password. We have a number of different browsers: Brave, Chrome, Chromium, Firefox ESR. I don't know why that's in the list because that's already the default. LibreWolf, Vivaldi, Pale Moon. Good to have an easy option to do Brave, though, inside of here. Libreoffice Installer. We have all applications, clip art, help files, all application clip art, help files with extra interface languages or some degree of custom install on LibreOffice. We have encrypted DVD support, Virtual Manager Hypervisor and VirtualBox Hypervisor, and an app image launcher. So those are application suites that are decent. We have Firewall, we have a system updater, and we have a tweak tool. And we can toggle a neo-fetch on terminal startup, and we can configure the aggressiveness of swap. So those are all tools that we have built into the system. Other than that, just to have a look at their page, there's, as we said it at the beginning, there's really not a lot else here to look at. So maybe the existence of these slightly modified and just an extra package on top of something like Debian, maybe I start to agree that it becomes too fragmented. Let's stick with the major distributions that do some major changes and just add the software suites as extra tools. So there's kind of my thoughts. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. So there we have it, folks. Is this an amazing new distro that we should be looking at, that we should be keeping regular tabs on? Or is it just Debian with a few extra packages installed? Let me know in the comments. Does this contribute to the fragmentation, or does it just give us something else amazing? My personal opinion, I would love to see those tools packaged to easily be installed on other Debian-based builds. So if you have some other Debian build that you're using for whatever reason, and you need to have the ability to, clean up the apt package, or install harder to install software packages, or set up those repos without manually editing the sources list page, it would be really cool to have those tools available. But is that enough to use this particular distribution? In my opinion, probably not. It's not a horrible desktop, or it's not a horrible distro. I'm not downing the whole project. I'm just saying this is the reason why people say that Linux is too fragmented. All it brings us is Debian with some theming, with some tools. Let's just make those tools available, and that way we can purify the Debian experience a little bit better. And who knows, maybe down the road, those tools might get picked up by Debian to be installed more easily along with something else. Those are my thoughts about it. You should have a look at it yourself. I'll have the link for the SourceForge page for downloading it down in the comments. Have a look at it and see what you guys think about it on your own. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.